When the mind is steadfast, it preserves order. It does not allow the physically visible world to reverse the sequence of reality, for true reality is primary, metaphysical, behind. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 73 of 365. Today's focus, the law of the mind, the steadfast mind. The governing law remains the same, the law of the mind. When you deepen focus, you deepen your understanding. Effect stands in front, origin stands behind, the mind stands between. This is the order of the law of the mind. Today, you examine the steadfastness of the mind. A steadfast mind does not drift between reaction and recognition. It remains aligned with what has been recognized through the first sense. When the mind is steadfast, it preserves order. It does not allow the physically visible world to reverse the sequence of reality, for true reality is primary, metaphysical, behind, unseen to the physical senses, yet visible to the metaphysical sense, the first sense. Secondary reality is the expression of that primary reality, a shadow or echo of what stands behind. The physical senses acknowledge the shadow, the echo, but they do not perceive the true reality that precedes appearance. The mind is metaphysical ground. Within that ground, thought appears as seed. For thought is metaphysical seed. Thinking is the metaphysical germination of thought. When the mind remains steadfast, thinking is allowed to work upon the ground and the seed without interruption. The seed of thought stands within the unseen ground of the mind. Recognition reveals the metaphysical pattern that already exists within that ground. Pattern forms metaphysical structure. The mind is metaphysical ground, unseen. Whatever that ground receives becomes physically visible in front. Pause for a moment. Observe the condition of your mind. Does it remain steadfast with what has been recognized, or does it move according to the reactions of the five senses? A steadfast mind protects the seed of thought. It allows thinking to express the germination of what stands within the metaphysical ground. Reaction interrupts this process. Reaction shifts attention toward what is already physically visible in front, but steadfastness returns the mind to cause. It returns attention to what has been recognized through the first sense. Through this alignment, the proper order of reality remains preserved. Steadfastness therefore becomes one of the most important qualities of the mind. It is the condition that allows the unseen process of thought to continue without interruption. When the mind remains steadfast, it does not abandon the seed that is present within its ground. Many seeds of thought are within the mind, yet only those protected by steadfast attention express themselves. When attention shifts toward reaction, the seed is neglected and thinking no longer expresses its germination. A steadfast mind does not rush toward what is physically visible in front. It understands that what appears in front is the expression of what stands behind. For this reason, the mind returns again and again to recognition. Recognition reminds the mind of what has been perceived through the first sense. It restores the mind to the unseen ground where cause begins. When the mind returns to recognition, direction becomes clear. Thought is no longer scattered by reaction. The seed remains within the metaphysical ground, and thinking expresses its germination. Recognition reveals the order within the unseen ground of the mind. What is recognized stands as metaphysical pattern within that ground. As recognition becomes clear, the mind perceives direction with certainty. The seed of thought stands within the unseen ground, ready for physical expression. This is why steadfastness protects the expression of thought within the mind. Without steadfastness, the seed is repeatedly disturbed. With steadfastness, the seed remains clear within the metaphysical ground. What stands within the unseen ground appears within the physically visible world. What is recognized behind becomes structure in front. The steadfast mind, therefore, remains aligned with recognition. It does not demand confirmation from the five senses. It understands that the unseen governs what appears in front. Through steadfastness, the mind protects sequence. Cause remains before effect. Origin remains behind appearance. The unseen continues to govern what later becomes physically visible in front. Remember the order. Effect stands in front. Origin stands behind. The mind stands between. Affirmation for day 73. My mind remains steadfast with what is recognized as real. My mind is metaphysical ground. Thought appears as seed within that ground. Thinking is the metaphysical germination of thought. What begins behind becomes physically visible in front, by order, by the law of the mind.